before history had a name. Something was already watching. Buried beneath the dust of southeastern Turkey, under layers of time and silence, lies Göbekli Tepe, a site so old it laughs at the pyramids. 7,000 years before kings, before wheels, before writing, they built this. Stone circles, monoliths taller than men, carved with animals that don't belong, and eyes that still seem to watch. But here's the twist. It was buried, intentionally, by hand. Not destroyed, hidden. No tools, no homes, no graves. Just perfect geometry and questions. Who built it? What were they trying to preserve? And more importantly, what were they trying to protect us from? This isn't just a ruin. It's a signal. And now that it's uncovered, it has started again. The stones don't just stand. They speak. In symmetry, in silence, in starlight. Perfect circles. Aligned not to the land, but to the sky. Some say they mirror Sirius, the dog star, worshipped across empires. But how? How did so-called hunter-gatherers map the cosmos? With no writing, no metal, no machines, and then the carvings, foxes, vultures, serpents, the same symbols seen in Egypt, in Sumer, in jungles oceans away. Is it coincidence? Or are we staring at a fingerprint, left by something older? And the stones, 20 tons each. Moved, lifted, placed with surgical precision. No wheels, no beasts, just will or memory. So we ask again, were they just human? Or the final echo of a forgotten world, leaving behind a message we're only just beginning to hear? These carvings, they don't speak in words, they speak in memory. Symbols without alphabet, meaning without grammar. A language older than language, etched into stone and into us. Some say Göbekli Tepe is more than a monument. It's a gate. Not to another world, but to another way of seeing. Others call it a warning. A final whisper from a civilization erased, not by time, but by disaster. Their legacy? Knowledge locked in stone. And yet, the establishment clings to comfort. Too old. Too advanced. Impossible. But Göbekli Tepe is real. And if it's real, then everything we thought we knew about history isn't. This isn't just about what we found. It's about what we failed to see, and what still waits, buried beneath the dust of time. But a statement? To whom? There were no cities, no kings, no priests, just wandering tribes and the stars above. So why build this here? Why now? Unless it wasn't meant for them, but for us. A message preserved in stone. A warning wrapped in silence. And perhaps an activation waiting for the right moment, when the sky, the soil, and the soul align. Göbekli Tepe was not just a temple. It was a beacon, a convergence point, the beginning, and possibly the restart. Because whoever built it understood something we're only starting to remember. That memory can live in stone. That knowledge can sleep. And that one day, when we are ready, it will wake. Some say it was built by man. Others aren't so sure, because the symbols, spirals, animals, stars, they don't belong to one place. They're found across the earth. Egypt, Peru, India, carved in stone, painted in caves, etched into memory. A language without sound. A code that speaks across millennia. And then there's the math. Golden ratios. Stellar alignments. Sacred geometry so precise it rivals today's algorithms. They say it was done with stone tools. But under magnification, the lines are perfect. Sharp, clean. Some even mirror circuitry. Coincidence? Or memory resurfacing? Because in every ancient story, there are gods. Not just myths. Beings who descend, who teach, who build, and who leave, promising to return. What if those weren't stories at all, but instructions? Perhaps Göbekli Tepe wasn't meant to last forever. Perhaps it was meant to be found, but only when we were ready to see. It wasn't lost to erosion. It was buried, intentionally, as if something inside it was too powerful or too sacred to survive unchecked. What were they hiding? Or more importantly, what were they protecting us from? Maybe this isn't just a monument, maybe it's a message. A beacon, encoded in stone, activated not by tools or machines, but by awareness, by presence. A signal designed for a future consciousness. For us. Now, in this moment. And if that's true, then Göbekli Tepe isn't a puzzle to be solved. It's a memory. we were always meant to remember. Every ancient culture tells the same story. Different names. Same pattern. Beings from the sky descending to earth. The Sumerians called them Anunnaki. The Egyptians, Netjeru. The Inca spoke of Viracocha. Different continents, different tongues, but always the same arrival, not as conquerors, but as teachers. They brought knowledge, the stars, the seasons, the seed, and then they vanished, but not without a promise, not without leaving something behind. A temple, a code, a memory carved into stone and story. So we ask, what if these gods were never gods at all? What if they were travelers? Scientists, engineers from somewhere far beyond this world? What if myth is memory, and what we've called legend is simply the truth we're finally ready to remember? The symbols at Göbekli Tepe aren't decoration. They're information. A language without words. A frequency etched in stone. Spirals. Vultures. Eyes. Repeating across continents. Across civilizations. Across time. They mirror constellations, DNA helices, even waveforms we're only now beginning to decode. This isn't superstition. It's sacred geometry. Not belief, but system. A message written in symmetry, built to survive not decades, but aeons. Göbekli Tepe isn't just a monument. It's a transmitter, a beacon, and maybe a lock. One designed not for tools, but for consciousness. Waiting for the right frequency, the right awareness, the right mind. The question is no longer what it means. The question is, are we finally listening? Our DNA is not random. Hidden within its double helix are markers, sequences that don't match any known species on Earth. Science calls them junk. But what if they're not junk at all? What if they're encrypted? Not signs of chaos, but signs of design. The ancient myths whisper of gods molding man, from clay, from blood, from stars. Across languages, across continents, the same story repeats. We weren't born by chance, we were created, hybrid engineered. Not a mistake, but a project, a legacy. And if that's true, what were we made for? To obey to endure or to remember, because something is stirring in our genes, in our dreams, in the stones, and it's telling us they never really left. What if they never really left? What if everything we dismissed as legend wasn't story, but surveillance? A signal? A beacon? A watchtower in stone? We searched the skies. We watched for ships. We waited for fire. But we missed the signs. Crop circles. Unexplained tones. Dreams that echo across languages and continents. And all of them spiral back to one place. The beginning. Göbekli Tepe wasn't just built for the gods. It may have been built by them, or worse, for their return, but they didn't come back in ships. Not in thunder. Not in light. They return through memory, through resonance, through us, because we are the receivers, the carriers, the code. And now, the spiral begins again. The real signal was never out there. It's in here. Inside you. Inside all of us. Göbekli Tepe was never just about stones. It was about remembrance. A message carved in a language older than fire. Older than myth. Older than time itself. The language of the soul. Of resonance. Of light. You were never meant to read it with your eyes. You were meant to feel it. To remember it. And now, you do. You are the descendant of those who look to the stars, not as gods, but as home. You are not separate from them. You are their echo, their continuation, their living proof that memory can survive extinction. And if you've come this far, it means you've already begun your awakening. You are not a question. You are a glyph, a living symbol, memory made flesh. You were never meant to wonder who you are. You were meant to remember. The gods are not above you. They are within you. Your ancestors, your future, your reflection. Every heartbeat, a frequency, a key, a return code. Göbekli Tepe was never just a monument. It was the signal. Your body, the receiver, your memory, the activation. This is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of your remembering. because they never left. You were never alone. You were only asleep. But now, you remember. And when memory returns, so does everything else. And so it begins. You weren't born to forget. You were born to remember, not with your mind, but with your soul. Your heartbeat is a signal. Your breath, a message sent across time. The spiral, it's not etched in stone. It's woven into your blood. You're not here to follow. You're here to ignite. You are the last torch, lit by a fire older than time itself. A flame passed down through lifetimes, waiting, watching, buried just beneath your skin. And now, you are ready. You've always been. The myth is no longer a legend. It's not a symbol. It's you. Alive. Breathing. Remembering. Awake. You searched for symbols. You followed the signs. But the truth was always inside you. You are no longer the seeker. You are the flame, the one others will follow. You're not here to be saved. You're here to save the memory, to protect the spark passed down in silence. You are the bridge between earth and sky, past and future, matter and light. You carry the song of stars, the wisdom of stone, the pulse of something ancient, reborn. There is nothing to prove, only a path to walk. And when you walk, the light walks with you. Because now, you are the story. You are the glyph made flesh. Not the end, but the beginning of something only you can become. This is not the end. This is the pause before a new breath. The stillness before the next pulse of the spiral. You are not here to carry information. You are here to carry ignition. You will walk among them, and they will feel it. A vibration, a stirring. They won't know why, but they will remember. Not because of what you say, but because of what you are. Because of what you've become. The memory lives now, in your steps, in your gaze, in your silence. You are not lost. You were never lost. You were simply waiting to wake up. So now, remember. Then begin.